Good evening. Welcome to this regularly scheduled meeting of the Jefferson County Board of Education. We'll call the meeting to order, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. And Madam Superintendent, I think we were going to ask.
We were. We have the honor and privilege of having a number of Jefferson County school students.
Absolutely. Let's ask the students to stand and lead us in the pledge. All of you.
Wow. Anytime.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wow, that sounded like a chorus. Thank you very much.
Oh, you and your foreshadowing, Mr. Senator.
Before we get to the recognitions, how was your weekend? Everybody have a good weekend? I don't know about the rest of the board weekends, but I had an outstanding weekend, and would just like to take a moment to thank this community for their not only outstanding, but indeed inspiring support for education. It was a
Yes, it was.
It was a heck of a team effort, and teachers, parents. I don't think there were probably many student voters yet, but a few, yes.
At Shepherd.
Yeah. And I was speaking earlier today to former board member and former interim superintendent Alan Sturm, and he says that he couldn't recall a levy in the state ever passing by this margin. So hats off to all of you for making it happen. Okay. Recognition.
Yes, sir. Well, one of the great things that happens when we have that much community support is that we're able to do some wonderful things for kids, and one of those is the extracurricular activities that we have here in Jefferson. And we have, as you guys well know, unbelievable music and chorus programs, and we're here to recognize some folks for All-State Chorus. And Mr. Blanc is going to talk a little bit about how you gain that honor and call up some of our students.
Yes, we have our elementary All-State Chorus students who, let's see, Miss Douglas here from right down the, you want to come on up for a second, Miss Douglas? Put her on the spot here. It's much better than me to stumble through of how to go about this process for the elementary. I understand the elementary and the high school are different, but for your elementary chorus students.
Okay. So the West Virginia All-State Children's Choir has a board that meets and divvies up the allotments for West Virginia All-State Children's Choir, and it's based on numbers in your choir. And so if you have up to 50 students, you get 2 All-State students, and then every student after 50, you get every 50 students after that, you get 1 extra. If you're a board member, you get an extra member also. And so Right Denny this year got 3 because I am a board member, and I've got 35 students in my choir this year. And so it's up to the teachers to choose who they take based on ability and need and allotments and things like that. So I've got alto this year, so I had to audition and choose students that are able to sing an alto line against a soprano line and things like that, which is a difficult thing
How did you get alto?
fifth graders to do. That's up to the chairperson to decide.
Okay. Well, thank you. And I don't see a high school chorus person, so I did the next thing and asked these gentlemen over here. Something told me they were probably in the high school chorus over here, that of how they went about getting on the All-State chorus. And I understand is you went to a big place with a bunch of people singing, huh? And you all were selected. The high school folks were selected by judges there as All-State chorus in 2 different categories. Did you say?
Yes, there was like the actual singing portion where we had to memorize 4 different songs, and then there was the music theory part where we needed to have tonal memory and things actually musical.
Very good. So it's quite an honor. We're real proud to have you here. What I'll do is call your name, and you can come and get your certificate, and you want them to come around you, or?
Yeah, absolutely. Line up behind the board dais so we can get a picture with everyone. And tell us again, then, we have, would these be, is this the entire, like, Jefferson High Choir, or is it members of different?
No, this is an individual honor.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Just selected, yeah, select a few.
They are selected from a much larger, we have a very large course program at almost all of our schools.
Yes.
We have 9 students, 9 high school students who were selected, and it was an audition process, and we have the second largest representative group in West Virginia. So there's only
Outstanding.
one high school.
So I'll call you and come and get a certificate. A couple of them ask you to help you with your name, so I don't mispronounce it, but Tori Torlone's here. We got Ryan George. And Cameron Mayhar. Nathan Spencer. He's not here tonight.
Let's go.
Got Savannah Sellers. Ian Calhoun. Haley O'Meara.
Keep coming down.
Adrian Lou. Good. Adrian Love.
No, Adrian.
No. Okay, Will, you're going to have to help me with your last name.
Tostenson.
Very good. Nick Hall.
Let's go this way.
How about Jamie Ingersoll? Tyler Edwards. Jeffrey Martin. And Garrett Damon.
Go the other way. I had a couple other come right around over here.
Didn't miss anybody else. We don't have certificates for, did we? Very good.
All right.
Just wouldn't be entirely fair to ask them to sing.
Can I get you guys to just scoot just a little bit this way? Yeah. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna do one more, okay? 1, 2, 3. Great.
All right.
Do you mind if I grab one too really quick?
I don't know. Absolutely.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you.
All right.
Very nice.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
You're all welcome to stay with the board meeting or go home, whichever you want to do.
Wow, that's good. Is that, does that apply to us too?
17 and under.
I've never held someone.
And now we have Spirit of Jefferson.
Yes, sir, we certainly do. We have Spirit Jefferson Award, and here to talk about the winner is Miss Krista Martin, the principal at TA Lowry, where our winner is from.
To announce the Spirit of Jefferson Award to Mrs. Wendy Keefe.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wendy is my general office aide, and I tell you, she is the first face and usually the first voice that people hear in the morning, and is just the face of TA Lowry, and just jumps in and does anything above and beyond, and we couldn't run the office without her. So she is very, very deserving of this. So very, very honored to have her with us. So yes.
Thank you. Congratulations.
You get to come over here.
Okay.
Congratulations,
Thanks,
and thank you. I hear from the parents that your spirit is infectious, so thank you for all you do for us at TA Lowry. Great. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Apple time.
Madam Superintendent.
Yes, sir. Simply to echo your earlier comments, I have a deep appreciation for the service staff, professional staff, parents, and others who renewed a pretty significant commitment to Jefferson County Schools. And we will be spending quite some time throughout the holidays making sure that we thank all of them properly. And the best way that we can do that is to continue to serve their children well. And that's our commitment. So.
I couldn't tell earlier that our backbenchers were here, but I want to give a particular shout out to Rhonda and Terry and Linnea, who's obviously doing something far more important right now. But I know you all did a tremendous amount of heavy lifting and phone banking and getting current employees and retirees, and it really paid off. Great job. Thank you both so much. So. Anything else?
No, sir.
Action on approval of minutes. Do we have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any questions, clarifications? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Do we have citizens? We do.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Young.
Before I get started, I want to thank everyone too for the levy. I was in an area that did not have signal Saturday night, and I'm trying to literally go on top of a mountain to find out what happened. And my daughter, who lives in Pennsylvania, at 9:38 told me it passed. So I'm very grateful for everyone and all their hard work. And the percentage, 78%?
78%.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Carried every precinct in the county.
That's great. And there was other counties in the state that had their levy passed as well, and I was really happy for them. But the reason I'm here tonight is I'm standing for someone else who would like to pay it forward. And I have a letter here to read to you all. If I could get through it without getting emotional, it would be a miracle. But it says here, I have worked at SMS for 17 years at Shepherdstown Middle School. I have always had the support of staff and an awesome students. This year started a little different for me. I thought I was fighting a cold, and it turned out that I had stage 3 lymphoma. My treatment began immediately, and I have been quarantined since. My co-workers at Shepherdstown Middle School, the students, all worked together to help me to learn to struggle with this illness. I love my job and I love the people I work with. The students have been so supportive. They have sent me hundreds of handmade cards. The staff has taken turns in feeding my family and ensuring that I'm special and that they are with me. We have done a variety of things for this young lady, whether her husband drove by the school and where he got signs out there, the whole school, one day, a few minutes, and many, many people have gone out of their way weekly to give her things, whether it's for her, her family, anything they might need. She has a long battle, but this week she got some good news. I'm not even going to describe the details here, but her cancer is down to 1 centimeter, considering it was very large. The support and the staff and the support I have received from SMS has made me determined to beat this. And the news she got Friday, as the tumor has shrunk very much, tumors, she still has a long fight to go. She has a few more treatments, and of course, she can't be around people. She can't, she's quarantined. She would like to pay it forward to make a donation to the Shoot and Cope Fund in honor of all the students and staff of Shepherdstown Middle School. And here's a check for $150 for the Shoot and Cope Fund. And this good friend of mine and a coworker that I've worked with, she's been there 17 years, I've been there a little longer, is Victoria Clevenger. And I think no matter anywhere you work, you have your ups and downs, you have your disagreements and all, but when it comes right down to it, your family, just like any normal family, and you're there for each other. And we will continue to be there for Vicki as she is always there for us. And who do I give this to? I'll walk it over to you.
Thank you.
That was a tremendous act of giving and sharing. Thank you for sharing that with us. Consent agenda.
Yes, sir. On the consent agenda, I have one change. On number 7, you will notice that there is a deletion. That individual came in today and has accepted a different position. So we made that change as of today. That's deleted. And I wanted to clarify so that there was no question on number 8. Beneath that, it looks as if a person is going from their job to their job in the same place, and that's simply a transition from a PM shift to an AM shift within the same building. It has to be approved, but didn't want there to be any confusion about why are you doing this. So, but there's the only changes. Clarifications.
Do we have a motion? So moved. Second?
Second.
Questions? If no questions, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Thank you very much. Old business?
We have none.
New business?
Under new business, we'll take these in order. First and foremost, there is a request to the board either to change or cancel the regular board meeting scheduled for Monday, December the 28th. Over the holiday break, many staff and board members may be traveling. Some of them may be here engaging in athletic activities. One never knows. However, given that the regular business of the board with schools closed is very, very limited, there would be nothing to bring to you on an agenda other than the approval of any bills we might have paid in the intervening week. But we wanted to bring that forward to the board for their consideration.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Did we second?
Did we
Which
have a
one?
second?
Are we seconding to
So,
postpone it? Or
well,
Well, it says to change or cancel, which what are we doing?
Our recommendation would be for you to cancel it and just simply move forward with your regularly scheduled board meeting on January the 11th. To
Yeah.
place another board meeting between those at a later date would not serve a purpose.
I wanted to look, so we're currently scheduled to meet on the 11th and the 25th.
Yes, sir. You will have 2 regular meetings in January.
So the question would be whether we need an additional one for any reason.
Yes, sir. And right now, the staff does not anticipate that we would.
Okay. Okay, so then the request or the recommendation is to cancel the regular board meeting of December 28th. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
On number 2, which is B, the request for approval to modify the Blue Ridge Primary School principal position from principal to assistant principal. I am withdrawing that request, an agenda item, for a couple of reasons. First and foremost, we are in the process of completing the paperwork with the West Virginia Board of Education regarding notice that would allow us to appoint a single principal to 2 locations. There's some paperwork that has to be filled out in order to accomplish that. And number 2, I met and spoke with the staff at Blue Ridge Primary School, and am also going to speak with the staff at Blue Ridge Elementary School. Understandably, anytime there's a suggestion for a change, I think people have a lot of questions and they want to ensure that the things that they love and care deeply about at both of those schools are maintained. They understand that it's a decision that's intended to have no effect on the staff, simply to save us administrative costs so that we have more funding to put into the teaching and service staff in those schools. So they're very supportive of the rationale. They simply want to have an extended discussion with us about the logistics of how that gets done and ensuring that the cultures and the work at both of those schools continues unabated. And I think that that's a worthy discussion for having to make sure that everybody's comfortable. So I do have some additional statistics and information, some feedback from the individuals at those schools with requests that they have to myself and the board to make sure that if this happens, these are the things that are important to us that we want to make sure occurs, and I want to make sure that everybody has that information before we move forward.
So you think it would be then premature to have a discussion on it now until you've had an opportunity to have those discussions as well as feedback from the state superintendent?
Yes, sir, and I would like the board to have the feedback from all those individuals as well so that you're informed while we're having the discussion. Yes, sir.
So the recommendation is to withdraw?
Yes, sir.
Item B. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor of withdrawing item B under new business, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you. We will return with additional information. We want to make sure everybody has a comfort level. As we frequently say to the staff, together or not at all. And together is the way that we choose. So,
Do you have any indication from the state how long this process is going to drag out?
Their belief system was that it would be very prompt. As a matter of fact, their portion of it, they believed they could complete before Christmas break.
That's unusual, but fine.
Yes, sir. Unusual, yet delightful. So this is actually far more about making sure that our staff are comfortable than that process. The third item is request for approval for local retirement incentive for service and administrative personnel. As in years past, the state of West Virginia under code offers an early retirement incentive to classroom teachers. They are paid a stipend or one-time payment of $500 for early notification of retirement for this year, it's by January 15th of 2016. In years past, this board has voted to honor our service and administrative personnel by making that equitable, covering the people that are not covered under the classroom teacher incentive. So we've written up the parameters for the one-time incentive here. It would basically be if there's a classroom teacher, and the Code of West Virginia also covers librarians and a couple of other very specific job classifications. But anyone that the state's retirement incentive covers, they go through that process. And we would cover anyone that does not pertain to, that don't meet those criteria, as long as they meet the exact same timeline. And those timelines are, number one, you do have to tell us by January the 15th. You have to tell us in writing. And you must remain in your position until the conclusion of the school year. That is in the West Virginia Code, and we've gotten an interpretation on that, and we feel that it's important for us to mirror that with the local incentive as well, because it's intended both to give us early notification for budgeting processes and to ensure that we have, consistent service. And once we know that someone is retiring and then they maintain their position for the remainder of that school year, that gives us an opportunity to put someone in there with them and begin to learn their role and begin to mentor them, so that or for them to mentor who their replacement is likely to be, sort of the brain dump of institutional knowledge, so that we have some good consistency moving forward.
Okay. Do we have a motion to consider this?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay. Questions?
I don't have questions, I have a comment. I just think it's only fair that service and we give this opportunity to all employees.
Yep.
And we've been doing it for a number of years.
And whether you have any incentive, however, is up to the state. I mean, the state's already decided that there's going to be an incentive for teachers, correct?
Yes, sir, they have for this year. And this is a decision that this board makes annually, so you're not committing future funding, you're committing 1 year at a time as that occurs.
It helps us a lot in planning, and it helps us with the transfer list and all of those things as well.
Yes, sir, it certainly does. It certainly does.
Do we know how many employees are eligible for this?
I can get you that number of who could go right now. We can get you that number.
Other questions?
Probably several hundred.
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
Probably, yes.
I mean, I guess, I realize that, of course, just given the demographics of the population, we're going to have more people who are eligible to retire, but if they do, is there an eligible pool to come in behind them?
Well,
it seems like every year we do have problems filling positions.
Yes, sir, although I would point out that this is something that you've done in years past, and it is not a significant enough sum of money that it has changed or spiked the number of people who've chosen retirement.
Right. These are people who are probably going to do it anyway.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Quite frankly, it is more of an incentive for the
decision.
Timing of the notice to go ahead and tell us so that we can prepare as a system. And it's an acknowledgement of people who are responsible enough to do that, of our appreciation for it. So it doesn't, it hasn't over time, because we looked at before you put it in and when you put it in to see if it actually actually pushed up retirements because, quite frankly, that helps us. It's attrition savings.
Sure.
We almost never
Right.
hire somebody who's making anywhere near that much. It did not. So the incentive isn't for us to save money by pushing up retirements.
but
It
it
doesn't
does help
function
us
that
for
way.
planning.
But it
Yeah.
helps us tremendously for planning, for transfers
Sure.
between places, and for training, for
Yeah.
knowing who we need to train to replace.
Any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We do anticipate an executive session to discuss personnel. issue.
Personnel, yes,
Do
sir.
we anticipate any action being taken?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, I will entertain a motion to go into executive session for personnel issues. And we don't anticipate any action afterwards, so, okay.
So moved.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. We'll take a 5-minute break, and I apologize before we go. Any comments from the board?
I have a quick comment.
Yes.
Just, everybody's been so thankful and grateful to the community for supporting the levy. And the last time the levy passed, it was 61%. So we've gone from 61% to 78%. And in one of the precincts, it came back at 94.7%, which is just amazing. So, thank you.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
Well done, all.
A lot of people put in a lot of good work.
Yes, they did.
Yes, they did. Absolutely.
And I would just say, mentioning the chamber choir that was here earlier, I think there was 9 students from Washington High that were selected that Ms. Marcus was talking about. I got a chance to hear them twice this weekend at the Presbyterian Church and up at the Harper's Ferry. They were fantastic, and it really made me proud to be able to stand there and think those kids are our county.
Yeah, that's right.
They just sounded fantastic, and you could see the look on the people's faces. They were just amazed at their blend and how beautiful they sounded. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you all.